Okay, we're going to open the City of Chelsea Traffic and Parking Commission meeting. Okay, approval of the minutes from the March 12th, 2024 meeting.
I can make a motion to approve.
Okay, anybody second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, handicap sign application, January 22nd, from Florentino Rivera of 44 Orange Street.
I've been here three
One
times.
at 40 and one at 47. Did you sign your name? Could you sign your name, please?
I've been here three times, and then I get denied 3 times, and I understand the reason you deny me, because this is a small street, and then you got 3 signs in that street. But, and then I think I got a small idea. You guys cannot send letters that we split it. Can I use that parking too?
Can you use the other parking spaces?
Yes.
Yes.
But the
Yeah,
thing,
those are for everybody.
The problem is, I was talking to the lady parked there, and then she told me to come here to the city hall to get my own parking. Then I said to him, I don't think that work that way. And then I don't want problem with nobody. And then I don't know if we can make like a meeting with those people or send letters.
Well, can I tell you something?
Yes.
They all know, when they get a handicap parking, when we put up a sign, they all know that it's available to anybody with the handicap placard. It's available to anybody.
They think that belongs to them.
What's that?
They think that the parking belongs
No,
to them.
but they know, they've been told, because you don't get it without us telling you. You know what I mean?
Were you asking if you can be, have a meeting with the community with regard to the parking so that they all are aware, or you? No?
Yeah, I think that's what he was asking.
Yeah, I mean, can somebody notify all the people, or no? I don't disagree with them about.
So I do want to say that one of the neighbors from that area has passed away. And
Someone
we
has
will
to.
be removing, I
We
believe
won't
it's one.
remove it now. Well, so what happened was your neighbor at 47 Orange moved away. She passed away. So now that spot technically opens up, so we don't have to remove it. We can just approve it for him. It's already there. We're not going to take it down. It's already
No.
existing. Yeah, I wouldn't move it.
Another thing, the lady living in my building, in the same building, they got 3 cars with the same handicap thing.
Yeah. The placard doesn't go to a specific car. It just goes to the person. So unfortunately, they can have, but they only have 1 placard. They can only use one car at a time.
Are those vehicles, do you know if those vehicles are registered to the same person?
I really don't know. I know it's the same handicap thing.
They're
I
supposed
got a
to be,
picture here for 3 cars with the same thing. They take one out, they put another one. It's not another parking there.
I would think they're supposed to be legally, they're supposed to be registered to
Yeah,
the
it's
same
supposed
person
to be
in order to
registered to
transfer
the
from car to car, but we can't. We can't enforce that. But like Elsa said, the person at 47 recently passed away, and that's right near your building, so that, technically, that spot, if she was occupying it, would now open up and be available to you.
In Orange, right? In Orange Street?
Yeah, she was on 47 Orange, so she must have been in the building, yeah.
That's the red car.
Oh, I don't know what she drove, yeah, maybe, she might have, yeah. Now, I drove by there tonight, probably.
So the I guess the husband passed away. So now that doesn't belong to anybody.
Correct. Does she have a handicap placard?
The wife?
Yeah.
So the wife wants to apply. She
Oh.
hasn't applied yet, but
Oh,
would
okay.
like to apply.
So she has to apply, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So as I said, I drove by today about 3 o'clock, I want to say it was, about 3 o'clock, and 2 out of the 3 spots were taken. There was 1 spot was open. And I think it was the one in front of 47.
Okay. Are we gonna send some letters or?
And I also want to say this, that we have received complaints about an area that they have been misusing the spaces, and the parking department has sent letters to everyone in that area that has a handicap that they need to use it properly, or else the city will remove it. Okay, so we sent those letters about 8 days ago. Okay,
Thank you.
So the people in his neighborhood would have got a letter on that then, okay.
yes, so they have all received letters.
So they'll be notified.
Yeah, so, all right, so I would make a motion basically to accept it and leave the existing sign at 47 Orange Street up. That's where the sign is.
Okay.
It's a one-side parking, so it has to go on that side anyways.
Anybody second?
I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, who's second?
Dorman.
Okay, communication March 8th from Edwin Barrientos requesting to replace the 3 existing stop signs with solar LED sign at the Chelsea Square intersection, to paint stop on the street at the 3 stops, and to repaint traffic arrows, directions, and signage that were previously installed on Congress Avenue at Broadway. Did you sign in? Sure. Thank you.
So I submitted a request for Chelsea Square, as you read it. I frequent the area on a daily basis, multiple times. And at nighttime, it just seems like cars just fly through, the stop sign in any of the directions. The area is pretty dark, so I think that the stop signs currently at Chelsea Square are not visible. So I would think that maybe the LED lights could help, along with the stop signs painted on the road. I know they were painted some time ago, and because of construction, they're no longer visible. So I'm just putting that request in tonight.
Excuse me, let me ask, you say the LED stop signs at the Chelsea Square intersection, what specifically are you talking about?
Every direction.
Well, if you're coming down Broadway,
Park
there's no...
Street, 2nd Street, Winnissemmit Street. That's why
Well, no, I'm
I
saying...
put vaguely Chelsea Square.
No, well, that's what I'm saying, but in regards to Chelsea Square, you have one at 2nd Street.
Every stop.
You're going to have 3 of them at 2nd Street. You're not going to have any on Broadway. There's no stop signs on Broadway.
Correct.
Okay.
But there is one on 2nd Street at Broadway heading towards
Correct.
the gas
Correct.
station.
Yeah,
So
correct, yeah. They're on 2nd Street, yes, yeah. So you're basically asking 2 different requests. One's going to be for the intersection at Chelsea Square, and then the other one will be for the Congress Ave coming up to Broadway.
correct. So the Congress at Broadway, they had signs, turn left only, and then keep straight on the right-hand side. Currently, because of construction at that building on Broadway, where the dispensary is coming up, they did a lot of construction, so they ripped up the road. So all the markings and all of the signs were removed, and they didn't come back and put them back. Currently, it seems like it's a a racing game to merge onto 3rd Street from Congress Street. And it's just a crazy scene with pedestrians and, but yeah, if we could have a solar light there at Congress Street as well, in addition to all the markings and signs.
So I would refer to Jorman on this one. Right now, Broadway is under redesign, so they're going to be redoing that whole intersection within the next year or so, maybe a couple of years anyways. But, so there's already plans in the design to do, and like I said, Jorman can answer better.
There was a pole there, well, not a pole, but there was a post there with a sign that said left turn only on the left side and straight on the right.
On Congress.
And that was removed right where the bakery is.
In the interim, I think it's worth placing the pavement markings, at least for the next year or so.
Yeah.
But there are going to be some lane changes proposed in that area. So
Right.
the configuration of what you might see now will be different in the future. But I certainly think it's worth, the stop sign where it is currently is adequate, but affiliated with the traffic markings, it could certainly help. The concern is both lanes basically bottleneck into the one street going towards
Yes.
Third.
Well, they're both, again, trying to merge onto Third Street, just
So
going
that's,
straight.
so recently that changed, so when that had the two lines for left and straight, there was two lanes on the other block. Then they made that into a bike lane, that's why that's why they removed and didn't redo the lines on Congress. But now we've recently, just a few months ago, we're waiting for the weather to come, we've revoked the bike lane on that other section, so that will then go into two lanes as well. And then in the spring and the summer is when we do the line painting, which will end up removing the bike lane on that second block going towards Chestnut.
Is there anything in the city policies that once there's construction or of any type to put back the signs and any road markings? Because it seems lately that, construction is done, and then they leave, and then it's a blank canvas, They
Some
don't
points,
put-
yeah,
They don't
yeah,
put nothing back, and that's
Sure.
been a problem since 2019.
Yeah, but they're also, like, remember, like Broadway's been a 2-year, 3-year project, so it's gonna continue. It's like now there's no sidewalks, there's no gutter, because it's in the middle of it. Same thing with Broadway, and like I said, I know for a fact that's under redesign, because it's a dangerous intersection, what they can do at Congress and Broadway. But for going forward, to answer yours specifically, there are some stop signs that we do have flashing stop signs, so that we can look at that and see if that's an
Yeah,
option.
it's at Beacon only.
But like Joman said, as you come up to Congress, there's two stop signs on both sides of the street. They're pretty adequate. But people, like you said, want to shoot across and get across before anyone else. But once we remove the bike lane from that other block and we properly stripe it, which will probably, once the weather turns, once May, June come, that's when we'll start doing that. I bet you'll see a little bit better traffic flow over there, because there'll be two lanes on each side, so it'll move a little better.
Okay.
And then, like I said, we can always look at flashing stop signs and like Joman said, doing some line markings for the next year or so until they finish it and do it all
Okay.
over.
We will have to look into using the LEDs, because I don't think we have the infrastructure to hook them up.
Yeah.
So,
You don't have the infrastructure to put up the
for the
flashing.
flashing stop signs, based on where they are now, because there are going to be improvements made within the next year or so for those.
Are they not solar?
We
Fully
would prefer
solar.
the solar, yeah, but we can look into getting the LED signs for that.
I know the last meeting, and I'm going out of order here. I had submitted a ticket for Second Street at Cherry Street. I spoke with Elsa today, and I think you guys decided against it. And I think there was a confusion on the wording of the request. I wasn't requesting additional space to be taken away. I was requesting to have additional sign to the one that's already there. There's no parking from here to the corner, but people miss that sign, so they park in that spot anyways. So I was requesting
Okay.
a sign at the corner.
We can reassess it, but I believe the two signs say no parking between signs.
There's only one sign.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it may have gotten knocked down. They're doing construction there, so it's possible that it may have
No,
gotten knocked down.
they never
Oh.
put a sign
No, what I'm
there.
saying is they've been parking there, but we'll look at it. If it needs the
Okay.
sign, we can always throw the sign back
And
up.
that was in addition to the road markings as well.
Correct,
But
yeah.
there's
But I know the spot,
construction going there now,
you're
so-
supposed to have two signs that say no parking between signs. We'll look, maybe one got
Yeah,
knocked down,
it was weird when they only put one
yeah.
a long
Well,
time ago.
I mean, I know it had two because I put them both in. So I know it had two originally. Now, it should have stayed like that the whole time, but we'll look into it. We'll double check it.
All
We
right.
can replace that.
Thank you.
It's easy enough.
Okay,
You're
thank
welcome. Thank you. So what's the motion?
Are we making a motion to look
We
into
gotta make
it?
something, yeah, we gotta make a motion to at least table it until we can further discuss with,
Yes.
the next process would be about line painting or stop signs, whatever. So I make a
Yeah.
motion to table it for now.
Motion to table it.
For how long, though?
How long do you think it'll take, Joan?
For the LEDs. I'd table it to the May meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 month should be fine, that should be fine.
Okay, anybody second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, communication March 22nd from Charles Harding requesting an extension of the street occupancy permit issued by DPW until April 15th. Is this something we usually, I don't think this is something that we have to vote on. Am I mistaken, or, I mean, DPW issued the
So
permit.
I believe they issued it they can only issue it for 30 days.
Oh, it's a 30-day.
So once it's past the 30 days and they need additional time, then they come to us.
I just wanted to get it extended for another 60 days.
So this is on
Three-
Maverick Street?
It's on Maverick Street, right at 168 to 172. Want to get 3 spaces for construction.
So am I not reading this right? Because this is until April 15th, so it's going to be 60 days from the, I'm not understanding
yeah,
the the extension. Because on the minutes, it says 15th of April, right? Or am I misreading?
Yeah, no, you're right.
So the
So-
permit is up until April 15th? Is that,
I'm sorry?
So,
the permit expires on April 15th right now? You got 30 days?
It's already expired after 30 days.
Oh, it expired, okay.
So
Okay,
it's-
so it's already
it's ex-
expired.
The original permit was till May, but they crossed it off and made it for 30 days.
Okay.
Okay.
so when do you want to extend it to? Because here it says April 15th, that's where I'm confused.
To May 15th.
May 15th.
That's another 60 days.
Oh, yeah, you don't have it, so they asked you.
Oh,
How many parking spaces will you need?
3,
3?
just during the day.
Between certain hours, 7 to 3, 8 to...
7 to 3 would be fine.
And it's not overnight, it's not taken, it's just during the day, right? Is what you said? Sorry. Just during the day, right? You said it's
Just
not gonna
during the day,
not gonna
yes.
take away overnight
For the
parking.
contractor parking. They've been getting, even with the signs up, they've been getting ticketed too.
Yeah. And this is for your, for the construction workers, you were saying?
Yes.
And you've already had it for 30 days. And then, how long, what's the anticipated finish date of the construction? After May 15th, obviously?
May 15th will be complete, and then we'll be selling the units.
Oh, okay.
There's 4 townhouses there.
Okay. Yeah, to me, they've already had it for 30 days. I don't know what. It's only during the day, we're already not parked. That area is not the worst parking area, like this, it's open, there's space.
It's
There's a
open.
few houses, the condo next to you already has their own parking, the house next door has a driveway, so it's not, I don't think it's a terrible thing. As you get more into the summer, it might be with the Boys and Girls Club, but you're hoping to be done by then, so I don't see it being a problem.
Okay.
I make a motion to pass and allow it until May 15th.
Okay, anybody second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, communication March 26th from Julia Bernardi requesting an extension of the street occupancy permit issued by DPW.
Did you sign in?
Did you sign your name?
So what do I need to do to get the extension now? Should I come back to DPW to get that, or am I all set?
So what happens is, now that we've passed the motion, but it has to go to council, has to get read by council twice, so it's gonna take probably about 30 days, I would think, Elsa, at least, right?
I don't know when the next meeting is for
Yeah,
that.
it all depends on when the next city council meeting
I'll
is.
call you tomorrow to see
Okay.
the process. I don't
All
have their agenda, so I don't know when their next meeting is.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Patrick Salvado. I own the Longarone Exteriors. My guys start the job in 26.
Can you speak to them?
Oh, sorry. My name is Patrick Salvado. I'm the owner of the Longarone Exteriors. My guys start 1 month ago. This building in the 2560. 2560. My office call 1 month ago about the parking, the permit parking, but the Julia's call for here, but the guys provide just 1 month. I have another 2 months in this building. I have 16 guys working in this building. Every day, my supervisors pass each employee house for pick up my guys because I don't have a space here. My office called 1 month ago for City Hall. City Hall provide me just 1 permit, just for 30 days. I'm here for looking the possibility if you're looking another 2 permits, and probably I need the 60 days more. because before this, I pay ticket every day in this event. If you have a possibility, help me a lot.
So you're working on that building on the corner that they've been doing it's already been under construction, correct?
Yes.
With the scaffolding, it was all that? Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, he's looking for extra spots, though.
Yeah.
One
Just looking for
one
extension.
extra spot if you have a
Oh, an extra
possibility,
spot.
and
So
a extension for
can't read.
another
Two
60
spots and 2 months more, right?
days more. Probably I finish this job in
How many spots
June.
does he have now?
This one.
Oh, he only has one? You have one parking spot now?
Yeah, it's today, but it expire.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Washington at
25.
6th. Big building with that scaffold, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Where were you currently parking?
No have a parking there.
Through your occupancy permit, where were you?
The city hall provide me just in one spot. I need the two spot.
And where was that approved spot?
In the front of the building, I have one street in the right.
On 6th or on
Yeah, 20,
Walnut?
2560. I don't know exactly the name of the street, but it's
Walnut.
the right. Yes.
Okay.
It's very close the corner.
And you have one spot, you had one
Yeah,
spot
I have
there?
just one spot, but expire.
Okay.
So you're saying you can have this one, can it be on Walnut Street?
Yeah.
This doesn't have to be on 6th, okay.
Mhm.
How many cars are you looking to park?
It's today I have 16 employees working there, but I have just one van pick up every employee every day because I don't have a spot there. I have twice rides every day because I don't have
Okay.
any parking spot.
How many additional vehicles do you think you'll have?
Just one more.
One more?
Yeah, just one
Okay.
more is helping me a lot.
I mean, just looking at it, like I said, it's nothing to say, oh, let's take a spot away, but unfortunately, during the day, you're just taking away spots from people who live in the neighborhood,
Yeah,
and they're gonna look
completely
at you and say, you don't live in the neighborhood, so,
Yeah, I completely
understandably
understand.
so, but also, you're on a street that's one-side parking, so it's a lot tougher to, and between that and the construction we got going on up the street at City Hall, it's not an easy area,
Yeah.
put it that way.
I believe that's daytime resident parking too, if I'm not mistaken.
By the train, yeah, all day, yeah,
It is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the house right next to the building, it has no driveway, so you wouldn't want to take it there. I mean, Walnut makes sense, but then again, like I said, unfortunately, there's the people that live in the housing projects there all park on Walnut Street.
Mhm.
At least this, I mean,
Is it just to get your employees there, or is it to get,
they do, but
Equipment
then they
there.
stay.
No, my employee.
Just
because they
employees.
can't take public transit? They're not, because the T's right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, commuter rail is, yeah.
Yeah.
So, just taking a look at the street occupancy permit that was approved for you. The spot here looks like it was approved for the corner of 6th and Washington,
Mhm.
at the corner, right in front of the restaurant, Los
Yeah.
Pinos. Is that your?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. Based on that, I mean, a second spot there, I don't think should be too impactful, especially if you're only just doing the job for, how long? Did you say June?
I finish in June. Probably June 15 is my deadline in this building.
Okay.
I mean, unfortunately, you wouldn't think it'd be too impactful, but with the work going on at City Hall, it could be. There's
That's a
also,
good point.
unfortunately, there's also something else on the agenda that's gonna ask
With
for
the
more
911.
parking around City Hall, so it's gonna be tough to, you know, the more spots we take from City Hall, I know there was an email sent out today about taking some parking spots inside the parking lot to more construction, which ultimately, at the end of the day, is not what we want to do, but it has to be done. I mean, it's one thing if we decided to take a parking spot from somebody to put a dumpster and to get into a window or to access the building. You're talking about just taking a van and parking it there, so just transporting your guys, so it's a little tough to,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I get what you're saying, I understand that there's no parking there for your guys to park on, but on another token, any job site's gonna have that problem, but, you know, we do wanna work with you, we don't want you to say, we don't want you to, you know, not have you have the chance to get in there, so. But we just wanna make it that works for everybody, people that live there, the store, you take away parking in front of that store, Jerome, and then they're just not gonna, the restaurant might suffer from it.
Right, yeah, and they already have pickups
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah, so.
Did you say it's 24-hour resident parking there?
I believe there's daytime resident
Daytime
parking,
resident?
as well
Could
as
we-
nighttime.
Could we just issue a generic permit so that they could park in the resident zone and they have to find a spot instead of being designated a spot?
That's a good question.
I'm sorry, Aaron, what'd you say?
So I was gonna say, so if it's a resident always required, could we just issue a permit saying that for like the time period, like a temporary permit, that you could park in a 24-hour zone, but it's
I
not
don't think so.
designated to a spot?
I don't think so, because the parking department only does it for residential areas. Like if we're gonna go fix someone's gonna go fix your home. But we wouldn't do it for a big project like this.
Is there lots around there?
I can't hear.
Isn't there lots that you can park in? I mean, like, I thought there was like metered lots or anything like that.
The nearest metered lot would be up underneath the Tobin Bridge, or Route 1.
No, nowhere near there.
But it's limited, there are limited spots there.
Yeah, I just thought of that, Rich, I don't know, to be honest with you. He's talking about next to, how's the name of that place?
Yeah, probably in the future.
Under
I
the
have
bridge,
another-
I mean, as you're coming up to Arlington and stop, it is always empty. I don't know if it's MassDOT, I don't know if it's the building.
I believe it's owned by DCAM,
Is that, is it Cedars?
the building across the street.
Yeah,
It's only like half the lot of Cedars, I think.
yeah.
Probably in the future, you have another company's
It's funny, there's no
request
parking,
about
but yet
the
that back
permit
parking lot is
because
always empty.
have a lot of job
TC
in this building.
Kills me.
Yeah, yeah,
Just finishes this building, the
Yeah,
deadline
yeah,
is
right.
for the next year.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, all under here and then over there. So right now, you have one spot that permit expires, is that what it was?
Yes,
Okay.
today I have a one spot but expired.
Okay, okay.
I think it's Daniel is provide this permit, but my office is called for here the last week. The guy is told you can provide extension. I don't know.
Okay.
You know, I don't know, I kind of think we could probably do the, like, extension,
Yeah.
but giving another spot, then
Yeah.
do we have to go to a public hearing and
Yeah.
and go that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
At least the gentleman before, we were just extending it.
Yeah,
Here it
yeah.
has the permit, but,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I don't know if we can be adding vehicles to that, but that's,
yeah. Because his communication is for an extension of it. So, I mean, I would be willing to, like you said, John, accept it and extend it till that time frame if that's what's needed to keep the job going. But to give a second spot down there, I just think it's tough. So I would make a motion to pass the requesting of the extension, but I wouldn't grant the other spot. I just, like I said, it's just between the other jobs that are going on up here and what the effects it has on the parking and the businesses on there, I just, you know, at least the one spot you can continue to get you guys to work, correct?
No, yeah.
Okay.
But keep in mind, probably another companies request another permit parking because, example, today I have 16 guys.
Yeah.
If the painting company is coming, probably have 25 guys
Yeah.
working every day.
True.
Probably the guys request the permitting.
True.
The deadline this building is for the next year. Probably you have this head shake in the future too.
But we'll deal with that as it gets
Yeah.
presented in front of us. But
and
for right now,
unfortunately, there's not
yeah.
enough parking for everybody.
Yeah.
There's just
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
so.
And we do have public transit that they can
Mhm.
take the bus here,
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I would make a motion to approve the request for an extension.
For how long?
You were looking for June? Do you have a date in June?
15 is perfect for us,
June 15?
yes.
And the times would be,
The times would just be during the day, correct? 7 to 3 o'clock? 7 to
Yeah.
4? Whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
Just during the day, okay.
Yeah.
That gives residents still can
Uh-huh,
park there at night,
perfect.
okay.
Okay, anybody second?
I second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
so much,
you.
guys. Have a good night.
Yep.
You
thank
too.
Okay, communication March 26th, from me requesting 2 parking spaces in front of the Shop and Go to be permanently removed or parking allowed after 5 PM. When I did send this in,
We're talking about Prattville, John.
yeah, Prattville, I was thinking the morning, but I guess it's backed up at night too, so, like during rush hour, I was told, so if, I mean, whatever you guys think, but, those businesses all have parking lots too. I know it'd have to go to a public hearing anyway, but,
I agree with you, John. Like we said, the Shop and Go has its own parking lot, and then next door is the salon or the beauty parlor. It has its own, they share a parking lot. There's no houses in that section that would require, to me, any parking, so I would be, I don't see why you would need to do it after 5 PM or anything. To me, it shouldn't be. If you're gonna have no parking there, it should just be no
be no
parking.
parking.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cars do leak into where the lane currently is, so I'm fine with removing those spots altogether.
Yeah, I say we accept the motion of removing the 2 parking spaces, but don't get rid of the 5 PM thing. Just remove them completely. Well, it's gonna have to go to a public hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I make them. And that'll keep the traffic, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That screws everything up. Yeah, even if it's just for 2 minutes, you still,
Anybody second for the public hearing?
a public hearing.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, communication March 26th from me requesting to reserve 2 parking spaces for police business only at 30 Washington Ave, the community substation, from 7 AM to 11 PM. Right across from City Hall, we have a substation. We've had it for, I don't know, probably 25 years, but we haven't really used it. But now we're gonna actually open that to the public. So it would be, I don't know, I guess you would just label them like police business only if,
My only reserve would be that with the construction going on at City Hall and the parking we've already taken, we're just taking up too much
Yeah.
parking around City Hall. That would be my concern.
Yeah.
Also, to be quite honest, you have blue plates and you can pretty much park wherever you want. So to me, there's enough spots, whether it's in front of Sir Speedy, at the corner in front of the chicken place, there's a 3/4 of a parking spot, which is an illegal spot, and you're not in there all day,
well,
you're
it's
in there
just
for a
so
few
it's not
things.
like for police parking, but it'd be for, it's not for the police vehicle parking, but for
Oh.
the public, like if you pulled up and you wanted to go into the substation.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
more what we're
Yeah.
thinking,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
There is 30-minute parking,
there's 30-minute parking?
yeah,
Well, across the street's 30-minute
across
parking
the
in front of
street.
City Hall.
And then the other one is 2 hours.
All those spots are 30-minute
okay.
parking, yeah.
Well, that does make a difference.
And you don't have to pay, the ones that are in front of.
Oh,
The
okay.
30-minute parkers,
Alright.
you just got, unfortunately, you gotta get them. Like I said, those are my 2 things, but if you wanted to make you could do 30-minute parking. It's tough. Like now with City Hall getting quieter, you can be in and out in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But a month ago, you couldn't.
Yeah.
So to do 30 minutes, even suggest 30-minute parking over there, it might help you guys, because no one's gonna come in there for more than a half an hour.
Yeah.
But if someone happens to come in there, they can at least get in there and get a chance without having to circle the block. But I find it tough with the parking up
So,
here.
is there 30-minute parking in front of there?
In front of City Hall, from the corner, the
Yeah.
crosswalk,
Yeah.
all the way up to the handicap signs, is all 30-minute parking. Yeah, already. So like I said, unless you want to make a motion to change it to maybe, but like I said, even 30-minute parking, I would just be more
No, I
inclined
mean,
to
well,
not.
listen, 30-minute parking's also reasonable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's,
Yeah. So-
Will you have meetings in there?
Well, it's gonna be, basically, it's gonna be open to the public, pretty much from 7 AM to like 11 PM. And it's gonna be kinda geared toward, like, if people have like substance abuse problems and they wanna get some services, they need some help, they can go in there, you know what I mean? And then we can just connect them, so that kinda stuff.
I would say, I don't wanna say, so if you're fine with the 30 minutes across the street and you, yeah, I mean,
Wouldn't that create confusion for,
what?
for the other meters, because the other meters are 2 hours?
Yeah, no, that's what I said, but I said only if John wanted to make a request to change it to 30 minutes, but the initial request of just taking up 2 parking spots for that, I would say
And then the
no.
meter would be removed?
It would be if you did 30-minute parking.
But maybe we could do, instead of the police parking, at least do like a 30-minute parking, or,
How do you enforce that?
no, that's the other thing.
It is enforced, they'll come by, they'll take the time, they'll go, they'll come back, but it also, it's only, how many?
We
how
were
many
we were just
enforcement?
looking at, somebody wanted to pull up and they wanted to go in, that was the only thing.
I know.
I mean.
No
and
different,
parking
unfortunately, no different than City Hall, where they
Yeah.
gotta either find a parking, and they can park in the City Hall lot, if they can get a spot in the lot, they can do that and walk, it's not that far.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's not. And they can just cross the street and use the
Yep.
other
Yeah.
ones too.
Okay.
So I
Or
would
they
make,
could take public transit.
some of them will have to.
She keeps advertising.
So I would make a motion to deny the request,
Okay.
in lieu of all the other parking
Okay.
there.
Anybody second that? That's okay.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, handicap sign application, March 26th, from Lois Hutchinson of 1 Fitz Terrace.
If you're going to speak,
There's none on Fitz Terrace, I don't believe.
There's no parking on Fitz Terrace.
Oh, there's no parking back there at all?
No. So there's no parking on the street?
Is that a public parking lot?
That I could not tell you. It's never been enforced. It's never, there's enforcement of residential parking in there, but there's no street sweeping.
Yeah.
And the spots are not designated for each house. Like, they don't go specifically to each house from what I know.
I've seen the resident signage, the resident parking.
The resident sign is just to enforce that residents are parking in there, and the parking enforcement can at least give them a ticket.
I see.
But do you know if inside the pocket, are those assigned parking? Do people just park first come, first serve? I mean, you've lived there for your whole life, so you know how the people park in there.
I can't hear you.
The people that park inside the pocket, yeah, do you know if it's first come, first served? Do they have assigned house, like? So the street going in is Fitz Terrace, is city-owned, but all the parking is them? Okay. You're all the way up to the corner, yeah. You're from George all the way up to the end, right? All three. You start on George, you own all three going up. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Doesn't look like there's any on George.
No, that's, right up front there's that.
There's no parking spots in any of the houses.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, no. Yeah. So where'd you park the whole time you lived there?
When I go home tonight, I won't have a spot, so what I'll do is I'll pull in front of the house and tell my granddaughter to park around wherever she
Okay,
finds a
okay.
spot.
Let me get the address, but I know.
It's the only, I mean,
Yeah. I know the spot you're talking about, one second. There's already no parking there. There's already no parking like here at the corner, so you can turn, so a fire truck can take the turn into it. And so there's a spot right there, just don't know the address. George, I think it's 10 George.
Is George a two-way street?
Yeah, two-way street, no parking. So the house on the corner, is that a Fitz Terrace address? Is that one? Or is that George Street? The house on the corner, and where you're saying to park on the, okay. Okay. What's that address is what I'm saying. But the first one on the corner of George, what's that address? Okay, 12 George, that's what I was looking for. Because when we say it, we have to say where we're going to put the sign. That's all, okay. That's the brown house, right? The brown on the bottom? The house, it's brown on the bottom? Okay. What's that? What's that one? What's she saying? There's already, this is a no parking. He had a corner sign just because they
Right.
used to park in the corner. The trucks couldn't make the turn. but she can park right in that tree. You can change that sign right there to a handicap sign. We can still put the other sign below it.
And trucks can still turn there.
Yeah, so the sign will stay here where you can see where the watermark is, and we'll put another sign that says no parking in the corner that way, and that way no one parks past it, and then the fire truck will still make that turn. Okay, so I would make a motion to accept her request, but to move it on to, put it in front of 12 George Street.
Anybody second?
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, communication March 26th from Matthew Kehoe requesting an extension of the street occupancy permit issued by DPW until December 2024.
Good evening, everyone. So we're doing construction down at the, excuse me, the Roca building. And the 4 parking spots that DPW gave us is pretty much for dumpster swaps. But it would be 24 hours a day. It wouldn't affect the bus stop. We'll be about 5 to 10 feet away from the bus stop. If you're looking at the street view, you'll see the double doors on that mural wall going, it's actually on Pearl Street.
On Pearl.
On Pearl, yeah. So we'll put our fence line up basically right to the right side of those double doors and then call it 40, 50 feet down that 4 parking spots, just so we can really swap dumpsters. Because we'll be generating a lot of construction debris, demo, and don't want to store it inside every day.
So right now, your occupancy permit is for 4 spots, is that what it's for now?
Yeah, 4, yeah.
Okay. Does that, let me ask you something, does that go past the
It
paint?
stops at, like, call it the edge of the, probably a little bit before the mural, so it doesn't affect the little handicap ramp that comes down to the,
That building.
yeah, I forget the building there. And then we also are gonna have a temporary crosswalk on the left side, to cross there, because the furthest one's like 2 blocks down or 3 blocks down. And then you have the one that's on the other side of the bus stop to cross Pearl on the right side there.
Yeah.
So we'll have temporary line striping, we'll have the asphalt ramps to bridge the curb, so that way
Sure.
accessibility is a little bit easier.
Can I ask you, so you're on both sides or just on one side?
Just on call it the Roca side of Pearl, we'd be taking the parking lane and the sidewalk. But you would still you'd still have access, cars going both ways on Pearl, and we wouldn't affect the parking on the opposite side of Roca.
Nothing on the odd side, it's on the even side, Roca's on the even side. And you said it comes to so he says it comes from here.
The double, we wouldn't affect the bus stop.
Up where the guy is, but after the bus stop, which is that pole
Yeah.
right there, down to here, there's a handicap ramp right here. They're gonna stop just before that. So they still have access to that. So 100 Pearl still has access to the building.
Correct, yes. Yeah, we wouldn't be
Ramp
blocking
right
that.
there. And it's just daytime parking, it's not nighttime?
It would be 24/7. We probably have hard
Okay,
construction.
if you put a dumpster there or something,
Yeah,
okay.
we'd have hard Jersey barriers.
Okay,
So
okay.
that it would block it off.
Okay.
And it's just 4 spaces?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. It wouldn't go, excuse me, sorry, it wouldn't go all the way to the Roca building, because we just want to make sure that the dumpster truck has a little bit
Yeah,
room
yeah,
to
yeah.
maneuver and back in, so that's why we'd stop at
With the
Shoals.
bus stop there too, it helps them, you can get in the bus stop and go in,
Yep.
yeah.
So
yeah.
there's no issues with traffic and, because it's pretty dicey around there anyways, am I correct or no?
It's not that dicey, it's tight, but it's not that tight, as long as they stay inside, he's gonna put it, he's gonna be in the gutter line, so.
Yeah, as long as they stay up against the gutter line,
Yeah.
they should be
Yeah, but, like,
perfectly fine
pedestrians are
with
not
the
gonna
bridge
have
back
issues
up.
Crossing and stuff like that, they're not gonna,
Hope not.
they're not gonna blind.
So when the bridge is up, it usually backs up towards the intersection of Pearl and Essex. But as long as they're up against the curb line, it should be fine. I live in this neck of the woods as well, and I'll say this is some of the overnight parking where there are actually available spaces. So even if we do impact these 4 spaces, there will be a good amount of space on the opposite side of the street on Pearl. So it won't be too impactful.
And some of Pearl already has parked there, they have a small lot there, which some of the
Oh,
people
no,
do
no,
park
I
into.
mean, I understand the dumpster, I'm just talking about like, blind,
Yeah, yeah.
make sure that people aren't.
But you said it's gonna be fenced out, you're gonna have temporary fencing?
Yeah, we'll have Jersey barriers with
So they're
fencing
gonna
up.
have fencing on that whole sidewalk, so they won't be able to, they won't be able to come out, yeah. Yeah, so if you're coming up from the bridge, you'll stop at obviously you can't go, and you'll cross there and go over there. Okay. Easy enough. Easy enough for me. So this is just extending it from now until December, correct? Is it expired or is it still?
No, I think it started April 1st, so it started Monday through the end of the month.
Okay, okay,
But
so
the
it's-
construction's gonna go until
Correct,
December.
okay, okay. I would make a motion to pass the extension,
can I
street
make-
occupancy permit.
Can I make one more question?
Yeah?
The temporary crosswalk that you're proposing here mid-block, is there any affiliated lighting that's going to be with that? Maybe a rectangular rapid flashing beacon, some kind of flashing beacon that would indicate to cars that pedestrians are crossing at this stretch? I'm not too comfortable with having pedestrians cross mid-block here. We do have speeding concerns on Pearl Street, especially during off-peak hours. So I'm okay with this as long as there's no crosswalk being instituted here.
So so basically, gentlemen, if you're coming up the sidewalk on the even side and you get to that string, what are you gonna do? You gonna turn around and go back?
You'd have to cross at the intersection of Essex and Pearl,
No, I know that way, but I'm talking about the other way.
like coming down.
If you're coming up from, say, Mount William Street, you're gonna come all the way up there, you're gonna get to the front of 100 Pearl, and you're gonna go, shit, where am I gonna go? Because there's a fence in front of you. You can't go, and you're telling them not to cross. I get what you're saying, but what if we made them put some kind of, they
Or
almost have to put.
some kind of signage that's visible with, crosswalk here.
Yeah,
The highlighter yellow sign,
yeah,
maybe something like that.
yeah.
That's reflective in nature, that's
Yeah.
seen at night as well, so.
Yeah, I can see if we can do that. So like right where, call it where the corner of the Jersey barrier and the fence is gonna go back to the Roca building, maybe put a post up with some reflective sign and saying crosswalk.
Yeah, I think that should be sufficient for,
Okay.
Yeah.
for the crosswalk at least.
Yeah, I can send something over to you I'll have
That
someone
would
draft
be
something up
appreciated.
and get that out.
Great.
Any height, bottom of sign, what that would typically be?
7 feet minimum
Okay.
per ADA compliant, yeah.
I'm thinking more cars. I don't know if like,
Just have to make sure
tractor
that the
trailers or
clearance-
anything coming, or
yeah.
keep it more so inside the fence line, at least so it's visible, but no trailer trucks can hit it.
Yeah, that works, as long as it's visible
Yeah.
and in a good place.
Okay.
And I think the important thing is that it's facing in both directions as
Yeah.
well. So,
Okay. And we will have pedestrian signage on our fence line too, noting pedestrians to,
Great.
on the Essex side to cross at before the bus stop, and then when you get to our fence to hit the temporary crosswalk.
Great.
Actually, according to, on your drawings, you have it, your pedestrian signage, sidewalk closed.
Yeah,
Yes.
nothing for the cars though, I think is
Yeah.
what I
Yeah,
think he was saying,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's very similar, you're gonna have that, just
Yes,
that
yeah.
line, person with the crossing a crosswalk, that should
Yeah, yeah,
suffice, yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Do you think it would, though?
Yeah.
How that could, all
Yeah,
the
it should.
traffic?
I mean, we have them up and down Broadway, we have them up and down most streets, we have a lot of them with those are the signage we use at the crosswalks. Other than putting a big sign that says crosswalk here, or even the buttons,
I
the buttons,
actually
yeah.
like the flashing, because then people,
Yeah,
I mean, I see
yeah.
because sometimes you
Yeah.
don't see somebody crossing,
Correct, yeah,
and then you see the flashing, you realize somebody's crossing,
correct.
especially someplace where you don't expect to stop.
Temporarily, I would say this should suffice for the duration of the construction, but as long as, like Joe said, the signage is there, then it's fine. So we need to make a request, we approve the extension with the caveat that you're gonna put the signage up
Yeah.
to help notify.
I think I
of
have your
crosswalk.
contact from Lou last week, so I can send that over to you.
Excellent, yeah. Just send it to me, email, and then
Yeah.
we can talk through it.
Okay, anybody second that?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So no public hearing for this?
No, because it's just an extension of his.
Okay.
And the
Yeah, thank-
crosswalk is approved by DPW, it's not taking away parking or anything. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, meeting adjourned?
Thank you, John.